Hi, welcome back to the video, and it's been a while. I have been out on holidays for about 2 weeks, and yeah, I'm back, and we will continue to post videos so that it can help you prepare for the tests. In this video, you will learn important concepts of solving geometry questions related to circles, and you'll have opportunity to solve few questions as well, and I will explain at the end how to deal with these type of questions. So let's begin. First, let us learn a few important concepts related to circle. A circle has a center, which is always a point, and it is always at the same point. The distance from the center of the circle to the circumference of the circle is called the radius, and it is often referred as r in different formulas and all that. So the diameter that is often mentioned in questions and other places is 2r. So d is equals to 2r, and it is the longest distance from one point of the circumference of the circle to another point in the circumference of the circle, and it always passes through the center of the circle. So it will always pass through the center of the circle. This is diameter d, and even this is also the diameter d. So any any straight line that passes through the center of the circle is called the diameter of the circle. But for example, if a line that goes like this, or even this, that touches two points in the circumference of the circle, but that does not pass through the center of the circle, they are called chords, and often they are mentioned in questions, and you have to know that what these terms are trying to explain. So the radius is referred as r, and the diameter is 2r. So now let's learn about some important formulas that are often used. So area of the circle is pi r square, and the circumference is equal to 2 pi r. Because 2r is equals to d here, we can just write pi d as well, because sometimes we are given the diameter d, and it is often easier to just plug in this formula to calculate the circumference of the circle. These kind of questions may arise in comparison questions, for example, and you have to do things really quickly, so you can use these formulas to actually calculate the values. I think that's it. We have learned few important concepts, and another concept that you should know is the angles. I'll just explain the basic angles of the circle. Another important concept is that the angle made by, for example, this is diameter. The diameter makes an angle of 180 degrees, and it creates semicircles, two semicircles, and the whole circle creates a degree of 360, and a diameter creates 180 degree. With this knowledge, we can solve few other questions that are related to the angles of the circle. Now let's do a question. Let's solve this question now. We are given a circle and it contains 5 different angles created from the center of the circle, and we are asked the average of the 5 angles of this circle. So we are not given the exact values of the angles, we are just given A and B, and other angles are in terms of A and B. So we don't know the actual values of these angles yet. But what we know is that angle of the circle or inside the circle is 360 degrees, and we are asked about the average. For this, we do not need to know the values of A and B, and we can just calculate it by dividing the counts of the angles. This angle is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We can just count the angles, which is 5 given in the question, and divide the addition, because the whole addition of these angles is 360 degrees. So we can just say that the addition sum divided by number of angles is the average. So the sum is 360 degrees and the number of angles is 5. We can just do the maths here. So this is 2 because this is 10. 1 comes from here. This becomes 35, 7. So 72 is the answer to this question. 72 is the answer. Answer D, option D is the correct answer to this question. Let's do another question. Now let's solve this question. We'll read the question first. We are given a square A, B, C, D, and the length of the side of the square is 2, and we are required to find the area of the shaded region in the circle. So this is the shaded region, and quantity B is pi, and we're required to compare these two variables and find which one is greater or equal to, or we cannot determine the relation between these two variables. So let's see the question, because this is the center of the circle and this is the circumference. The distance between these two is given as 2, which means that the radius of the circle is 2. And we also know that this angle is right angle triangle. Hence, this square divides this whole circle into a quarter. So this is 1/4 of the whole circle. So let us find the area of the circle first. The area of the circle is pi r square, and pi multiplied by 2 and 2 square. This equals to 4 pi. So this is the area of the circle, but this section, this shaded region is 1/4 of the circle. So the area of the shaded region equals to 4 pi divided by 4, which equals to pi. So which means that this value equals this value. Hence the option C, the two quantities are equal, is the correct answer to this question.